Good evening and welcome to Citizen AI, the platform where we speak truth to power. Let us see how this is going to transpire. We just want to just touch base on palliatives. We're not going to go on the name topic right now. I think think we're going to leave it to people to say what they want to say about that. We're going to leave it to others. Good afternoon and welcome to Citizen AI, the platform where we speak truth to power. It is 6 o'clock in the UK. And good evening and welcome to Citizen AI, the platform where we speak truth to power. If you are joining us for the first time and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AI on YouTube. How do you do that? Let us show you quickly. Go to YouTube, subscribe, hit notification button, give us thumbs up. Help us reach more people. We truly appreciate your support. It is of immense importance that you help us share the broadcast as you're watching it. And again, those of you who are on YouTube, welcome, good evening. And again, we urge you to please kindly share the broadcast as you're watching. Thank you very much. You are watching Citizen AI, the platform where we speak truth to power. One of the things that we are really doing is just to touch on one or two things about what is being said. Our focus really is more specifically on the palliatives, and we want to hear the views of people who are at the cold face of this struggle, the people on ground. How are you finding a palliative? Is it what you expected? Do you have confidence that it will happen? You know, we're just trying to ask general questions. We will shortly probably open the lines and we can discuss what's going on. Before we do that, as ever, I urge you all again, if you haven't subscribed to Season AI, please go ahead and subscribe to Season AI on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. We truly appreciate your support. Today is a Friday, the 6th of October. Friday, the 6th of October. Yeah, a few days away from the muted celebrations, shall we say. A few days from the muted celebrations that many of us no doubt saw, but it was really for many citizens. One has to ask a question. I'm not trying to put no dampener on things. Has it been a celebration for you? After 63 years of Nigeria, is there, like I said before, is there anything that we can actually celebrate? Please do share this broadcast. You're watching Citizen AI, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us grow the platform. We're just checking how things are going and endeavor to share with family and friends and let us reach as many people as possible. I'm going to play a video, but the question that I have to ask, that I'm asking all of us is this. It's a simple question, really. Are the palliatives, are they, okay, let's put it for want of a better word, let's put it in a better context, shall we say. Will the palliatives work? Are they working? Do you have experience of the palliatives? We're not going to talk on this broadcast, at least, about the certificate saga. I think that has been flogged. Except to say that all of us, we are all entitled as citizens to speak up on this issue of the certificates. It is very important that we understand that we can and we indeed have the power to speak up on that issue because it concerns us all. And it is something that you have a right to speak up about and share your views. I don't necessarily, for me, it is beyond the question of really talking about a certificate. We have a much more fundamental concern than that, in my opinion, a much more fundamental concern, and that is that We, the citizens, we have been denied our powers of sovereignty, and many of us have not been aware of that. Many of us have not been aware that we are sovereigns, and we do have powers we can use to actually hold our governance to account. To that end, the programs that we're doing on Ududu TV Radio and on Citizen AY is aimed at essentially making us aware, alerting us and making us aware that we possess these powers, that at this day, in this day and age, there is no other way for us to achieve the good governance that we want collectively than to actively participate in our governance. That is the only panacea for what is in front of us right now. So, to be honest with you, whoever is in governance right now, the situation that we find ourselves, we will still be electricity. You will hear Atiku talking about that they're going to privatize. That's not the solution. The solution is our governance. Collectively, none of them have been able to ensure that we, the citizens, actually were, had the things that we need, the infrastructure that we need. Take, for example, healthcare. Healthcare is something that should be a right for each and every one of us, as stated in that constitution. You saw the guy that slumped, Lawal slumped. And the question was, do we have any medical health facilities in place? Not just in the Senate, but in the whole country. Well, here's my take on things. Until we, the citizens, begin to participate in that governance and hold each and every one of them accountable, including the president, because by dint of the fact that we are sovereigns, they are answerable to you and I. But the problem has been that many of us have not been aware that we are sovereigns. So when they say something, we jump. Oh, they've spoken, we must do. These are things that has really given us a lot of problems. And I think one of the things that we need to begin to do is to please I want as many of my fellow social media commentators and others and journalists, we need to join hand and speak up. We have to raise the awareness in our communities for our citizens, our people, to know their rights as citizens, to know that they have the power to hold their governor to account. Let me just check. I'm just trying to check something quickly. There is something I want to give you a perfect example of what I mean, because I came across this yesterday and I said to myself, right, that's it. This is exactly what I've been talking about. It really hits the nail on the head, and I wanted to share that with you. I hope I've got it here. I thought I did, but obviously, okay, where is it? Is that it? No, that's not it. Okay, let me just check one more time. There is an information that I needed to share, that I must share with you as soon as it's practically possible. I'm trying to get that to you. And it is to do with the way our constitution is drawn up and the powers that we have for too long been unaware of that we possess. Excuse me 1 second, please. Just give me a minute, please. I'm just trying to check this information. I had it here and I prepared it, but it seemed to have just gone missing. But I will not add it into the discussion until I found it. Okay. Welcome on board. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. So, let me show you one of the things that we need to be aware of. I'm going to play a short clip. But before I play that, let me show you this, because we need to be aware of this collectively. We have to be aware of it. I want you to be aware of it. I need you to immerse yourself in it. I need you to share it with family and friends. I need you to have this information emblazoned everywhere for our people to know. this is just one section of it. We are going to also we want to ensure that our people know this in their local languages. That is where I'm really going. It is having our constitution translated into our local languages. But before we do that, to raise the awareness among ourselves and to share this, I want you to know these are the powers that all of us collectively possess, and we have not used it, and it is time we begin to use it. Without our active participation in governance, we won't get roads, we won't get water, we won't get light, we won't get schools, we won't get bridges, we won't get healthcare and hospital. We won't get any of those things, because those in government, they are purely going to serve their interests. It requires our active and daily participation in our governance to hold them to account. But we will come back and talk about that in a bit more detail. But let me just quickly read this to you before I play the video. It says here, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That's what it says in your constitution. In my opinion and in my view, this should be taught to children as young as 4 years old. If the children can learn about the Bible and the Quran, we can teach this to them from the age of 4, because they need to know their rights from such an early age. It actually awakens them, encourage them to speak up and to be able to hold their governors to account. Of course, we're talking about you still have to do it. There are ways you can do it, but it gives you that sense of knowing that you are a sovereign, and that is very, very critical if you are going to have a developed nation. Now, the second part of that section 14.2c, second part is the section 14.2c, which I'm going to read it to you again. The first part was 14.2a. The participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. That is a mantra that all of us must learn. There is no way that any government, I don't care if it's Peter Obi, I don't care if it's Atiku, I don't care if it's Tinubu that's currently there, whichever one, if we don't participate in our governance using the powers of sovereignty I am showing you on the screen, we will not have the infrastructures that we need in our communities. Pure and simple. Memorize this. Let me show you. One of the things I want us to do is, it's good that those of us who are computer savvy, who are in diaspora, and many who are speaking about this, it's good that we know we can able to have this information. Take a screenshot, share it. But furthermore, there's a lot more work for us to do. This constitution must be in our local languages. I can't overemphasize how important that point is. Without the people knowing the powers they possess, they can't exercise it. They can't exercise it. So I'm just putting it out there as a way to really prepare our minds that after 63 years of bad governance, the governance will not change. We, the people, in participating in the governance, holding them to account, is what will change them. That is what I put before you all today. Today, I want us to really begin to understand that. It's all well and good we can complain. It's all well and good we can say they're bad, or we put a new one in. But if we're not fulfilling our role, and it's not our fault to a large extent, for 24 years, this information that you're seeing on the screen has been hidden from all of us. Our job right now that we know better, what must happen? We must what? We must do better. That is what my aim is here. We must encourage us all to do better. And that is what we are really trying to drive at in the broadcast today. So please, take a second, take a minute. Go down to Citizen AY on YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up. Help us grow this platform. We really do need your support. Okay, so let me just show you. I'm going to show you a quick translation of the Nigerian Constitution in Yoruba language. And it is important. It's important that this is done. Do not discountenance what is being discussed here. Do not overlook it. Do not for 1 minute think that this will make no difference. It is the only way that we have to make the change that we are all seeking. to make it something that we are comfortable to go back home, and our people will become active participants in the governance. It is the only way. Now let me read this to you in Yoruba. The things I read to you before, section 14.2 and 14.2c, are in English, but we need our people in all our local government areas to know this in Yoruba. And here it goes. 14.2a. In Yoruba, ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ní tìjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè nígbà gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. It is important our people know their rights, know the constitution in their language, because that way they can actively participate in it. They don't have to wait for somebody to translate it for them. The words mean something. It makes them want to take action. Because I read it in Yoruba, the market woman will understand it, the farmer will understand it, the vulcanizer will understand it, the teacher will understand it, the booker owner will understand it, the whole neighborhood, because what they speak in the Yoruba part of Nigeria is in Yoruba. So their sense of reasoning is quickly switched on, and they are able to begin to participate. Because the second part now goes on to say, and again it's going to be in Yoruba, it says, ìkópa àwọn ènìyàn nínú ìjọba àwọn gbọ́dọ̀ rí dájú ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àwọn òfin orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Now, to others, you may not understand Yoruba, but those who are in the marketplaces, they need to know, right, we have these powers, and we also are showing you how to use it. That way, when the politicians come into their communities, they're not faced by what they're saying because they understand their powers in their language. That is so important in all of this. There is no point trying to do anything else. I am telling you, without us, the citizens, joining hands and waking up our communities, making sure they know the powers of the constitution in their language, nothing is going to change. Put the best president in the world in Nigeria. Unless we begin to participate and hold them to account collectively, and we are showing you how, nothing is going to change. That is the harsh reality that I'm placing before each and every one of you watching this broadcast today. Now, so we will pause back and we'll come and talk about this in greater detail. So please, those of you watching, if you can take a screenshot of this, particularly in the Yoruba community, take a screenshot of this and send it to your family and friends at home for them to know that they are sovereigns in their own language, so that they can begin to, you are changing a mindset. This is not just talking. We are trying to gradually awaken their mindset to the powers that they possess from within their community to hold their governor to account. That is the only way the change that we seek is going to happen. Of that, I am 1000% certain. Please do share this broadcast. You are watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us on this journey. We need your support. This is not about talking anymore. This is now about taking collective action, critical collective action. Whatever the politicians will do what they want to do. Believe you me, they will do what they want to do. The question is, are we the citizens? So subscribe to Citizen AY, hit the notification button, and give us thumbs up. Please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. And those of you who are on YouTube, I greet you all and I bid you all good afternoon. Now, so again, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, hit the notification button, and of course, give us the thumbs up. We really and truly appreciate your support. So what we are saying is this. We've now seen, after 63 years of this kind of governance, the change that will only happen has to start with you and me, knowing our rights as stated in that constitution in our local languages. Now, let us proceed and hear what President Tinubu said about the palliatives. I'm not going to talk about the issue of the certificate, because to be honest with you, all that for me, as far as I'm concerned, unless we collectively as citizens know our rights, know that we're sovereigns, and begin to exercise that, whatever they do here will make no difference to our lives. We'll be in the same position because we're not actively participating in our governance. If we were to be participating in our governance, we would be able to already call a meeting with your local government chairman, State House of Assembly, House of Reps, senators, governors. You call them to a town hall meeting and explain to you, they would come and explain to you, why is it that the president has done X, Y, Z? And you have the power to do so, but you don't know how to use that powers. And that is why we are trying to teach about that, to raise that awareness. It is of immense importance. Please do share this podcast. You are watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to the power. Now let's hear what President Tinubu says. And then we'll talk about the issues, how you see it. Again, the question remains: are the palliatives, are they the real? Are they working? And is that the real answer to the problem that we face? These are there's nothing to do with there's nothing to do about abusing or getting angry. We need to cut to the thrust of what needs to happen. There's no good just talking. Oh, this one has said, that one. What actual solution are we bringing? That's what I want us to begin to do as a people. Our mindset, this idea, the churches and the mosque want you to become a person of inertia. You sit down, you stand up, you pray, you go home, you come back, you do it every week, week in, week out, week in, week. You need to that is what they want your mindset to become, to be trapped in a bubble that they created for you and you willingly walk in. We are here to break that bubble, to smash it up once and for all. With your help. With your help. Now, let us listen to President Tinubu. Let's listen to what he has to say. Okay.
Labor, business, and other stakeholders. We are introducing a provisional wage award increment to enhance the federal minimum wage without causing undue inflation. For the next 6 months,
apologies for this,
the average low-grade worker shall receive an additional 25,000 naira per month. To ensure better grassroots development, we set up an infrastructure support fund for states to invest in critical areas. States have already received funds to provide relief packages against the impact of rising food and other prices. Making the economy more robust by lowering transport costs shall be key. In this regard, we have opened a new chapter in public transportation through the development of cheaper, safer, compressed natural gas, the CNG, buses across the nation. These buses will operate at a fraction of current fuel prices, positively affecting transport fare. The new CNG conversion kits will start coming in very soon.
So those are the comments. I just took a quick section
will start coming in very soon.
So I just wanted to just take a quick section of what the president said there, so that we could at least have, to have an idea of the kind of things they talked about. So he talked about that they've given palliatives to the state government to now in turn hand down to the citizens. And of course he talked about the CNG gas, where they're going to power specially designed, purposefully designed, designed vehicles that will be used to run those vehicles. Okay, but that's a short time. And then he talks about 6 months increment, increase in the pay of the workers for 6 months. What happens after 6 months? What happens after 6 months? Please do remember that the government borrowed something in excess of 3.1 trillion naira, if I'm correct, 2.1 trillion naira. 3.1 trillion naira, I think it is, yeah. And that money was supposed to be used for 3.1 trillion, I think 3 billion naira, dollars. So that money is supposed to be used to subsidize the import of processed oil into the country for about 3 months. What I'm putting to many of us, and we heard that the government said they are going to, they are planning to fix two of the refineries. Let me show you the picture of the refineries. 1 second. So they plan to fix 2 of the refineries. Let me just go here. I want you to have that so that we can follow what is being said and how it's going. Please do share. You're watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. So in the picture, you can see that you got 4 refineries. You got Port Harcourt Refinery 1, Port Harcourt Refinery 2. And of course, you got Warri and Kaduna refineries. Now, according to jury Anjuri Aguilera or something. Anjuri Aguilera. I hope I'm saying the name right. Forgive me if I'm not saying it fully. He said the government have got plans in place to fix the Kaduna and Warri refinery. Fine. Okay. That's good. But to reassure us in the current time as we're speaking, the petrol prices are still high. Now, the question is, the palliatives that they are talking about now, is it meeting the needs of the people on ground right now? Do call in if you have a, however you view this, whether you see the palliatives coming in, because we need to actually be able to establish this. So I encourage you to do call in. Let me leave a number. I think you got the number on the screen on Facebook. I will do that on YouTube also, because I want us to be able to work out what is really going on. Yes, it's always a good idea to have some kind of palliatives in place, but from what we can see, those palliatives are short-term palliatives, and in a situation where there are the funds that we have are just not, the people are suffering. I think we need a much more, if I may suggest, we much more comprehensive plan. With maybe, in my opinion, I would say that plan should have maybe 20%, palliative, but 80% infrastructure. So majority of whatever funds we are going to raise should not go on to palliatives. It should go on to infrastructure. The things that we will need to ensure that ultimately over the medium to long term, the prices of petrol, PMS, premium made something spirit, whatever, the price of petrol drops. Now, of course, once the price of petrol drops, it positively impacts all sectors of the economy. Food prices drop, school fees drop, everything drops. So the importation of processed oil is really destroying our economy, and my view is I'm not sure that what has been proposed here goes far enough. I'm not saying it's not good. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not here to critique and just call. We are looking for solutions. But we can find that solution ourselves by becoming actively, participating in it. So I would really like it if somebody can call in, if you want to call in and talk about have you felt the effect of the palliative in your community, i.e., what have you received? Rice? Is it rice? Is it money? How has that helped you? Because we want to gauge the feelings of the people on ground. We want to gauge the feeling of the people in terms of the plans the government have announced, and then the reality of that plan manifesting in the lives of the people that they put the plans in place for. So that is what we are trying to really, to plan out and to explain and to explore, to see, is there a cogent connection between the government plan and the needs of the people? It's one thing to have a plan in place. It's one thing. It's another thing for that plan to meet the needs of the people as close as possible. If it's just touching at it, or just really scratching at the surface, then that plan needs to, as a government, need to be reviewed rapidly. That is what we're saying. And those of you who are watching, let me just make sure I give this phone number. If you do want to call in, you can call in on +44. So let me see. Please, let me just put this up. So if you do want to call in, let me put it up here so you can hear us and contribute. We want to hear from different areas of our community. Maybe you may be watching this afterwards. You can also, leave a comment then. But what I really want us to do Um, uh, call in on. Let me just put the number up. +44. That's for those of you on YouTube. I think it's already pinned on Facebook. So let me just check that. 447 365 602 is the number if you want to call in and if you want to contribute to this discussion. We really, truly welcome everybody. This is for all of us, and it is very important that we play a part in this process. The days of we, the citizens, being bystanders in our own governance that's meant to serve us, as stated under Section 14.2a, which I'm going to read off head. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives its powers, all its powers and authority. Without us, there can be no government. Without us, the people, there can be no government. And they derive the powers of governance from you and I. We need to change the mindset of our people to begin to get them to understand the kind of powers that they possess. So, tying that back to the discussion earlier on, which I was talking about, is the government, with the plans they have in place now, is it meeting the needs of the people? We are only, keep in mind, this is not about abuse. We are trying to establish, is the government in tune with its people? That's all we're doing. And it is a legal, and we are entitled to do that. Please do call in. Yeah, I've got the number there. Okay. Yeah. Hang on. Sorry, let me just change. I'm going to make a change quickly. I didn't realize it was still. Yes, I've got the number here. Let me just check that I have it on the Facebook. Sorry about that. I'm just going to change the one on Facebook. I thought it was the same thing, but it isn't. So I need to make a quick change to that number on the screen. Give me a second, please. So, like I said, the question still remains: is the government meeting the needs of the people? That is what we are trying to establish. And based on the fact that a lot of people are really suffering, a lot of people are trying to leave the country, I suggest, I'm not certain, but I can suggest that it almost tells us what we really have, we kind of suspect. And that is that the people are suffering. And although the government have got some level of plans in place, to address the concerns, we're not so sure if that is actually, meeting the needs of the people. And that is what we are trying to really. Give me 1 second whilst I just check this. Give me 1 second. You'll see some things on the screen. I'm just going to try and change the number. I want to edit it so you have that number on the screen. Edit it. So I just need to make that change quickly. So you will see the number change, so you can call in, so that it doesn't 365602. So I'm multitasking, as it were, so do beg your pardon and bear with us as we do that. So I think 4300-365-602. So yeah, that has been made now. So you got the same number pinned onto the Citizen AY platform on Facebook. So if you do want to call in, and it's really important, I think a lot of the times now, one of the things that we need to begin to do is not to allow ourselves to be distracted by wailing, by just, the government is not doing something. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. When are they going to do it? Let us go and pray. That is not the solution. Patently, after 63 years, it is now obvious that prayers are not the solution. In fact, I am 1000% certain that the prayers in the mosque and the church, they are distractions designed to keep your mind, keep your mind from questioning the government, using the powers that I am freely giving and sharing with you on this platform, that you need to take hold of collectively within our communities. So, tying that back to the question and to the discussions here, we are saying, we recognize the government is talking about 35,000 naira to be given to workers, and they're giving palliatives to the state governors to give out to the people. The people do not need palliatives. The people need functioning infrastructures. I'm here to tell you that we Africans, We are industrious people. If you provide the infrastructures, watch the country take off. Literally. But if you don't provide infrastructures and you're providing palliatives, rice, 5,000 naira, you are forcing the people to be enslaved in their own land. And that is the problem. We need to be able to state this without somebody saying we are attacking anybody. This is not about attacking anybody. This is about saying after 63 years of failed governance, of bad, no infrastructure, people come to ministerial nominations and they talk about their achievements. And those achievements of every single one of them has not manifested in the lives of 200 million Nigerians. What are we really talking about? That is the reality I bring here. This is something that we need to address. So you can see the central role that we, the people, collectively have to play in this structure. And that central role has been cleverly skewed and been sidelined so that the people have not realized, have not been encouraged, have not been supported in exercising their sovereignty. All they've been done is the government, successive government, has made sure that the people, your main role as a citizen is every 4 years to vote. That is it. You must vote. It is your constitutional right. Yes, we want you to vote. After vote, go away. We don't want to see you again for the next 4 years. That's what the government has done. Successive government. I kid you not. I've sat back and I've watched what has been going on from the time I was growing up to me now, an old man. And I'm telling you, this is what we face. If we do not begin to help each other to raise awareness in our communities about our rights as sovereigns, I'm sorry, year after year, the story will not change. And we need that change to happen. The change whereby the government will fix the infrastructure of the nation will be driven solely by the collective citizens exercising their sovereignty. That is the only way this can be achieved. So, pulling away from that for a second, let's go back to the picture you see on the screen. The government has said that they are fixing Warri and Kaduna, according to Anjuri Angelele, that by December it should be ready. The thing I want you to know as a citizen is to say that is not good enough for them to make empty promises to you. Let me say that again. It is not good enough for the government, any government, state, federal, or local, to make empty promises to you. Go away. We'll come back and talk to us in 4 years. No. Your role is to monitor your governance because you are a sovereign. That is what we need to begin to change that mindset. So, in my opinion, what we should be doing is calling every local government right now should be having a meeting with the local government chairman in place, the state House of Assembly members, the House of Reps, the senators, even the governors. Call them to a town hall meeting on a monthly basis. And you can call an emergency meeting because the situation regarding the fuel subsidy and the lack of functioning refineries is of such major importance. It is impacting the lives of 200 million citizens in Nigeria right now. And on that basis alone, you as a sovereign, you can collectively call for and demand that they come to an emergency town hall meeting, and they cannot refuse. Because why? I will show you again. In English, for many of us who don't, I've done it in Europe, I'm showing you again. Because you're a sovereign. And I will keep, please do permit me, I'm going to keep hitting home on this. Because we've tried the churches, they prayed. They've done prayer sessions. You've tried the mosque, they prayed. They don't say prayer sessions. They've told you, just believe in the government. Leave it to the government. You can no longer leave it to the government. Leave it to the private sector. This one. No. What the most important ingredient missing is we, the people, being able to hold our governors to account using the powers of sovereign that we possess within that constitution. And we are here to awaken that knowledge. Because we don't want to come down here to next year, 64 years, and we have the same lamentation over and over again. You see, if you are doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, that's a definition of madness. That is a definition of madness. And that is what we need to really address collectively. Please do share this broadcast. I know a lot of the discussion I'm having now is not a topic where somebody is shouting, somebody's been abused, somebody's having... You see, the structure that we have in Nigeria is so cleverly designed. The structure requires you to exert all your energy on frivolous actions. Somebody does something. Ah, this one. I laugh. You get angry. You get up. You shout. You dissipate that energy to a level where you are more compliant to what they're giving you. That's what's happening. But what we are offering to you now is to begin to challenge that system using the powers that you didn't know you possess for over 24 years. We are trying to wake you up from within your community. Let me show you why this must happen. You see at the bottom of the screen below me, look at the sign there. It is telling you the rate of the naira right now against the dollar. The rate of the naira is 0.0013 of a dollar. That means that the naira is not up to 1 cent in the dollar. So when you compare 1 naira to $1, 1 naira is only worth 0.0013. It is not up to a cent in the dollar. So, of course, let us say, for argument's sake, for a cent, you need 100 of those 0.0013. You've only got 77 of the 00 to make up 1 cent. That is how bad our naira is. But many of us were not aware of it. And that's what we're trying to wake up. I put this up every day. I check this on a daily basis. What you see on the screen, the same thing with the CFA. The CFA is facing the same malaise. The CFA, by the way, is printed by France. France forced 14 countries. Now, Mali, Niger, Guinea, and Burkina Faso have pulled out. So the remaining 10 countries are still being forced to use the CFA that the French don't use. The French use the euro. Now, the similarity between the euro and the naira is that the currencies have been made so worthless that it is cheaper for those who are coming from abroad to buy our resources, to buy it on the cheap. And that is where it hurts our people. That's the point I'm trying to make here. We have come to a point now where we need to understand what is being done. We have to understand what is happening in our economy and how it is impacting our lives on a daily basis. I share that picture, those details on a daily basis, and I review it. I'm going to do it live on air as you're watching with me now. Let's go and do that. Let us type now. You will see the current figure, 1 naira to $1. Let us see what comes up. It's not going to change from that figure because that's what's been designed to do. That is what the financial institutions, the world financial institutions, they've designed to ensure that African currencies, they remain worthless so they can continue to buy our resources on the cheap. That's why they can afford to have tankers sit for 6 months in the Atlantic Ocean, and they put a pipe there because they are buying our resources on the cheap. But those who are in government, just sell it, I will pay you. They don't know that they're actually hurting our own economy, or at least they ought to know, but it doesn't seem like they do. So let me show you what I mean. Please do leave a comment and let's hear from you. 1 naira to $1. I'm going to show you. These are live figures that you're going to be seeing in a minute. Live figures. See that? 1 naira to $1. 1 naira equals 0.0013. So it is not. So that means you require another 77.13 before you can get to 1 cent. That's what it means. You understand me? You require 0.007 9 13. So sorry. Hang on. So it's 13. 80. Sorry, 87. 87. 87. So you require 0.0087 before you can get to 1 cent in the dollar against our naira. We need to understand this particular point. And I'm showing you, I look at this figure every single day. I watch this, I have been watching this for months. That has not changed. And it will not change unless and until our government takes control of our own rate of naira. But it's not something that Nigeria alone can do. This is Africa-wide. What I'm telling you is affecting the whole of Africa. Let me show you the CFA, for example. Again, we're going to do CFA because 14 African countries, they've had CFA imposed on them. And one of the things that we fail to understand that when they impose things like this on one part of Africa, it affects all of Africa. It affects the whole of Africa. So this is a system that has been designed to keep Africa oppressed. But we are waking up now. One of the things we need to do is to begin to exercise the powers that are within that constitution as a matter of urgency. Let me show you the one for CFA. So let's put 1 CFA to euro. You will see that now. So 1 CFA to euro. Let me show you. So please do share this broadcast. You are, of course, watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm here to really, what we want to do is to create an awareness, an enlightening, to enlighten our people, to know what has been done to us. Whilst you are busy praying in the church, somebody somewhere has fixed your currency so that when they want to come and buy your resources, they can buy it on the cheap. But because you are busy praying, you're not aware of this and you're not forcing. This information I'm telling you, these are information that you can use to go to your government and say, this is unacceptable. As sovereigns, we are telling you this must be addressed. And we can even come up with suggestions as to how to put a stop to this injustice right away, using those powers that I keep reminding you. Everything I'm saying goes back down to those powers. Everything I'm telling you goes back down to those powers. And like I'm telling you, you as a sovereign, you have the power to call the highest office in the land to account to you as a sovereign. Collectively, you have the power to call the highest office in the land, whoever they may be, to come and account to you by dint of the fact that you're a sovereign of the nation and the powers they use to govern you is derived from you. I'm really trying to break this down. Please do share this broadcast. It is of immense importance. We've talked about the rate of the naira now. We've talked about the palliatives. We're talking about the fact that the palliatives are not meeting the needs of the people. We've talked about the fact that you have powers that you're not aware of. We're showing you. We've talked about the fact that those powers need to be translated into our local languages. What we need to do now is not to even react to what the government is doing anymore. We need the government to start worrying about what the people are doing in exercising their sovereignty. Can you see that mindset change? Because when the government feel comfortable, the government of the day, they are so confident that the people will continue to beg them, that they will do whatever they want and they will go to bed and sleep and snore at night with comfort, because they know that they have got the mindset of the people, 200 million people. They've got them where they want them, whereby they are unable to reason and hold their governors to account. That must change. The government will do what they want to do because they know that they've got the citizens where they want them. But the minute the citizens start exercising the powers that you see on the screen, game changer. I want you to believe in what I'm saying to you. I want you to entertain that thought. Please entertain it and take collective action. Share this broadcast. Let it reach as many people as possible. Because where we are now, I'm afraid, if we are busy talking about, certificate, that one, this one, this one, it's all distractions. And one of the things about the distractions is that they will continue to impoverish us in our land whilst we fail in our failure to use the powers which we're now showing you, and we're encouraging as many of us to take on board and begin to use within our communities. Because this has to start in our community like yesterday. It's not any longer about challenging any government about how can you do this. No, not in that manner. The challenge comes from when we start exercising our powers of sovereignty. They will sit up, I guarantee you. And we need those things to be done in our local languages. You see, the market women, they are so industrious, and I salute our mothers. They are our mothers. Without our mothers, there will be no nation. If we give them the opportunity to understand the laws that they're governed by in their local languages, they will take control. Even the politicians will be afraid to go to the market. I want you to entertain that thought. The politician will be afraid to go to the market because the women will tell him, we are the ones who have the power, and we put you there, and it says so in the Constitution. We need a mindset change. We truly need a mindset change. So, tying that back to the refineries. You know, I was talking about the refineries. I'm trying to bring it back because I'm trying to really link everything. So you understand how all what I'm telling you ties back to the central issue of we, the citizens, beginning to collectively exercise the powers of sovereignty that we possess and use it to hold our governors to account. Because it states in that section, let me show you the section, part 2, section 42C. It says, the participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. And part of the provisions is that what? You are a sovereignty. And as a sovereign, you have powers collectively that you must begin to use in all 774 local government areas. No ifs, no buts. And we need those powers to be translated into our local languages. And let me see. Did I have this? I'm trying to find this documentation. I need to show you something. When I saw it, it made a lot of sense to me, and it still does now, but I'm going to see if I have that documentation somewhere. Okay, fantastic. I have it. Okay, I didn't realize it was here. I am going to show you exactly what I mean to buttress this point. And we need to really take this on board. Please do share this broadcast. Share it. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. You will not see this kind of information anywhere else. And please, you may have doubt about what I'm saying, but have a listen. Research it. Go and look at that section of the Constitution. It's there. 14.2a, 14.2c. It's on your screen. Check it. Investigate it. I'm happy to even debate or discuss with you live on air any concerns you may have, or something that I may have overlooked in looking at this. But what we need is dialogue among ourselves. Forget what the government are doing. Those who are going to go into government, they go into government on the basis of they are going to keep this oppressive system in place over the people that they govern. That's the reality. And unless we change the dynamics by beginning to exercise our powers, we will still be talking about the same, it go better in 4 years, in 5. In fact, next year, we will come back and do the same thing again. Yes. Next year, the year after, we will come and do the same lamentation again and again and again. But here, after 24 years of not knowing, one thing that I can certainly I can rest easy. I can sort of go, okay, that's fine. The information is out there. For the first time in 24 years, we are doing a massive drive to alert our people to the powers that they possess and begin to make the change. The change begins with us. The government will do what they want to do because we are not using the powers we possess. Once we start using those powers, we can question the government on anything. We can call them to town hall meetings and they dare not refuse, because we will tell them every meeting you will read to them section 14.2a. that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives its powers and authority. Now, they won't want to hear you. They will do everything to prevent you from saying that, because they don't want you to know the power you possess. And we are trying to break that mindset. You will not hear the pastor talk about this sovereignty in the church. You will not hear the imam talk about these powers of sovereignty in the mosque. The only place you are hearing it is you are hearing it on Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power, and others who may be having such ideas. But we need to come together as a community to help our communities in their local languages. Now, let me show you the thing I was talking about. And that was such an opportune thing when I saw it just now. Let me bring that up quickly. I want you to see that information because it is so important. I cannot overemphasize the importance of what I'm about to show you. So let me see. Okay. Or is it this one? Let me see. Okay. No. Okay. Yes. Okay. You're going to see it come up. And I want to explain to you why it is so important. One of the things they tell you is that, oh, we have to have a constitution, and that's it. Oh, we can't do it any other way. This and that. Make excuses. I want to show you something different. And I want you to know that we can do this. Now, when I show you this, please do take the time to, what's the word? Where is it now? Come on, aren't you there? Let me just check. Oh, sorry. So I want you to really share this and make people know that we can indeed make this change. It is no longer about waiting for somebody else telling you, oh, you can't do anything, you can't do this, you can't do that. You have that power. And I'm trying to encourage us all to use those powers. Now, I'm still going to come back to the refineries, and here's what I suggest. I have a suggestion on that I hope that we will actually take on board and actually activate. Let me see if it works. Will it do that? It's not doing it. Okay, let me put it. There's another way I can do this. Where is it? Why is it not showing up on the screen? 1 second, please. I'm just trying to check something. I'm going to redo it, and hopefully it will load up, because I need this information. It's very important, the steps I'm about to say. We need those constitutions in our languages, because that is where they have been hurting all of us for years. Because our lack of knowledge of that constitution in our languages has hurt our families and friends. And we need to change that anomaly. We must change it. It must be changed. Okay, there's another way of doing this. If it doesn't work this way, there's more than one way of doing this, but I will get it out. I wanted you to have this information because it is one of those things that oftentimes you don't realize that you have. So no. Okay, let me put this on. 1 second. Okay, so it will come up in a minute, but I want to show you. So please do bear with us and let us just take the time to really take this on board. It's very important. What we are showing to you now is things that you will actually find of immense importance and beneficial, and we will be able to win the argument convincingly if we begin to adopt all of these things. Our people need to know, for example, the problems that's happening in Ilorin. Partly we know due to the historical issues where the Fulanis tried to take over Ilorin with Afoja and all of that stuff. The remnants of that are now people who are emirs and things still trying to lay claim on that basis. But we all know that Ilorin and Kwara State is Yoruba. So the religion any religious strife that's going on now, it has that undertone around it. But if we were to encourage our people to know about the Constitution and the powers of the Constitution supersedes either the Quran or the Bible, and we can use those powers to actually set those who are trying these disruptions, set them straight, that they have to comply with the Constitution of Nigeria, particularly in our local languages. That is how important what I'm saying here is. But please, not forgetting, our focus still remains about the palliatives, the refineries, and the impact of the lack of refineries on our people. I've explained to you now in terms of the rate of the naira, how that is very extremely damaging, extremely damaging to our economy. And the government has not even looked at it. Since 1980, we have been using something called traveler's check. And that traveler's check is a very under the guise of, oh, we are trying to prevent fraud and things and whatever. So we want people to use traveler's check to move money. But what you're actually doing is you are moving your money, our wealth, from the south to the northern economies. That's it. That's all we're doing. Because the rate at which they change the money favors the north. But we're not aware. We are trying to bring this knowledge and awareness up so we can begin to address these issues. So let me see. Welsh. So I'm about to show you something that tells you we can do this in Nigeria. And please, those of you watching, don't for 1 minute think that my Yoruba nation ambition is gone. It is stronger than ever. In fact, I am certain of it. I am certain that Yoruba nation will materialize. I am certain. You heard me well. I am certain that Yoruba nation will materialize. So the steps that we are taking now, I want to assure you, will lead us there. We need to participate in our governance. If we're going to make any changes, it starts with knowing, making our people know the laws that are being used to govern them, the powers they possess, and being able to apply those powers. And if they see failing the effectiveness of those powers, they can now pursue the second part of this strategy, which is to now ensure that those they elect into office, they instruct them to go and put a referendum in the constitution that will now allow for the breakup of Nigeria, because it's not working. So please, if you think I'm talking about the constitution and you think I've forgotten Yoruba nation, no, you're very mistaken. This is a clear strategy that we must pursue. Okay, now let us go forward. So let me just show you. I just did that just now. I want to show you something. So when they say to you, oh, yeah, this is what they say. This is, all of that stuff that they're doing. It's all excuses that they're coming up with. I'm telling you that you should no longer accept it. In fact, you need to insist that you remind them. And that is why we need to have monthly meetings. Many of the so-called politicians, they've forgotten that you are a sovereign. Conveniently, of course. They've conveniently forgotten that you're a sovereign because it suits their aims. Now, what you are looking at here, is a letter about elections in Welsh. It's about elections that takes place in UK. The documentation you see here, everything is printed in Welsh. The point I'm trying to make here is this. Our elections, to make sure that they cater for the needs of the local people, should be in our local languages in the areas as far as is possible. If they can do it in Wales and the government caters for it, why can't it be done in Nigeria? You see, this is why I keep telling you we need our constitution in Yoruba, in Igbo, in Hausa, in the 250 languages that we have. We need it. Because unless the people understand the laws of their land, the power they possess within it, and how to use those powers, they can't participate. And I'm telling you, voting in an election is not participating in governance. It's just, that is the paper exercise. Oh, choose one person, choose that one. That's it. That's not participation. Because the laws that are impacting your life, they've cleverly made you not participate in that key area. And that is why, till today, generations have suffered. Why did you not do, my brother? Thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very much. We need to think clearly. Our steps must be very, very deliberate. This is no longer about shouting. You can watch the news. If I were you, I would watch the news. Oh, is that what they're doing? Okay. Now, my community. How many of us are members of the local community association? Find out how many. Do we even have a local community association? Find out. Do I know the name of my local government chairman? Do I know the name of my State House Assembly? Do I know the name of my House of Reps? Do I know the name of my senator? Do I know the name of my governor? You know those ones? Okay. How many of us know it? Okay. Now, do we know our laws in our language? That is what we need to do. Because it's in knowing those laws, we will be able to address any problems that the government puts before us. Can you see the mindset is changing? I hope you are seeing it. Like I said, on this platform, we're not here to do tito-tato. What I'm showing you is a documentation about registration for elections in Wales. It is written in Welsh. Please tell me, why is it that in Lagos, they cannot write our election material in Yoruba, for example? Why not? I'm just asking a simple question. Why not? Why do we have to use English? And why is it that education in Lagos, why is it not the foundation of that education is Yoruba, with the option to learn English if you wish later on? Why is that not the same in Igbo land? If you are talking about the well-being of the people, your mother tongue is part of your makeup. If you keep ignoring it, you are ignoring part of who you are. You are being enslaved in your own land. That's what I put to you. Take it or leave it. This is what we need to begin to think of. So, now let's tie that back to what I'm showing you in the back of the screen. Now, we're going back to the, sorry, let me just, 1 second. So I'm tying this back to the refineries. The government have said, thank you very much, Waris Dinodu, my brother, on Oduduwati Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to tomorrow. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, as you're watching, please subscribe to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to tomorrow. We need your help. I need your help. If you're an Igbo person in your community, you have a role to play. If you're a Yoruba man in your community, you have a role to play. If you're a Hausa man in your community, you have a role to play. If you're an Ijaw man in your community, you have a role. We all have a role to play. That role is to now ensure that our communities begin to get the information about their constitution in their local languages, because that is what will drive their participation in governance. Not the Bible, not the Quran. The Quran is written in a foreign language. The Bible is written in a foreign language. Okay, they translated it into, they've translated the Bible again, which is crazy. That tells you another thing. The Bible and the Quran is translated into Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, and other languages. So why not translate the constitution, the very constitution that impacts the lives of the people on a daily basis? Why not? I'm just asking a simple, why not? Why not? What reason does successive government of Nigeria have in not providing the constitution that is being used to govern the people in the language that they understand, so that it can aid their participation in their governance? Why not? Simple question. Look, I'm talking here. But when I on Citizen AY on Oduduwa TV radio, Yoruba le mean so. Me I dey speak my Yoruba. Where I know am. This one I not be perfect person, me mortal, but Yoruba le mean so on the platform here. And that's what I'm saying. So the point is, because you're learning English doesn't mean you need to forget your own culture. And by the government not translating the constitution into our language, they are reducing our culture and our language to non-entity, something that is not worthwhile. And that is detrimental to the growth of our nation. It is detrimental to the growth of our nation. That is what I put to you. Now, let's go forward. the refineries here. I put it to you. You know, I talked about the fact that the Andrew Ngelale said the government they're planning to fix Wari and Kaduna, which you see on the screen. They want it to be ready by December. But I'm telling you as a citizen, with the powers that I've showed you, you can demand that the state, your local government chairman, your state house of assembly member, your house of reps, your senators, your governors come to a meeting, town hall meeting, and you tell them collectively, you read section 14.2a to them in your language if you prefer, or in English. Now at least you have that option. The fact is they don't have the option right now. The option to have our language must be part and parcel of this discussion. No excuses. Now you read, assuming you have it in your language. Let me read you that one. Let me just read you in Yoruba. And I'll read it in English and I'll read it in Yoruba. So, and to aid it, depending on the area that you're in, if you're an Igbo speaking area, you can read the Igbo one first. Then you read the English, But make sure your language is the first one, because you are the people of that area first. Your language. Ede. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to read it in English now, actually, in Yoruba first. Then I'll read English. This is what needs to happen. When they are sitting down, because you want your people, and you have to make sure that many of you, this is why we're talking about participation in your governance. There has to be at least 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, 200, 300 at that meeting. Local people. So that when you are reading when you're reading the powers you possess, the people know you are reminding them that that's who they are and they have the power to call the governor to account. Do you know how that changes the mindset of the people? Do you know how it changes the mindset of the people in a positive way? So, to that end, let's say you call a meeting. You call your local government chairman, state house of assembly member, house of reps, senator, governor, and they must attend, because why? You are a sovereignty. Your community, you have the power to call everyone, including the highest office in the land, to come and answer your concerns, because you are sovereigns. That is how powerful you are. But the Bible and the Quran, they don't want you to know the power you possess. Oh, no. Because they are serving the needs of those in government. So, let us read this. Now you call them to a meeting. At that meeting, you read this, and this should be something that must be done in all 774 local government areas. As they are sitting down, local government chairman, state house of assembly, house of reps, senators, governors, sit them down. We welcome you. Akinyo, Ekabo, Enleo, Katobereto, Ejo, Afefi, àwọn àkíyèsí àwọn òfin ìlú tó ṣe pàtàkì afẹ́fi tó yín létí ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò. Ẹ ṣeun, ẹ tẹ́tí sílẹ̀ kẹ́gbọ́. Nínú ìwé òfin apá kẹrìnlá ẹsẹ̀ kejì a wọ́n sọ pé, now you now say what it says in the constitution. Ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ní tìjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè ń gba gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. And then you pause. Study their faces. Study their faces. Everybody that is in that community, study the faces of the people who are seated. They are going to be uncomfortable on their seat because they know you've got them. They are afraid. They don't want you to know the powers that you're telling them, because it will inform their actions. Now, the second part. Àfikún, ní àfikún, ẹ kú jókòó, ẹ ǹlẹ́, ní àfikún ọ̀rọ̀, abala kẹrìnlá ẹsẹ̀ kejì sí, wọ́n kọ pé ìkópa àwọn ènìyàn nínú ìjọba wọn gbọ́dọ̀ rí dájú ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àwọn òfin orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ó jẹ́ pé a ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti kópa nínú ìjọba. Torí pé kí ni? Àwa gangan ni a ní àṣẹ àti agbára. Ẹ ṣeun o, ẹ kú jókòó. And then you stop. Again, you study there. They will be sitting uncomfortably on the seat, I guarantee you. Try this out. They will be uncomfortable on their seat. But it requires us to know the Constitution in our languages first. This is why if we are going to change anything, it starts with the Constitution being in our local language, in our mother tongue. Now you can watch it now done that in Yoruba, or in Igbo, or in Hausa, or in Efik, or in whatever language, in your local language. Because you are making sure that in your language, your people are first. If you are putting English language before your own culture, it means that you are putting yourself down in your own community. That's what it means. So we need to reverse all of that right now. So we need the constitution in our local languages. Now, let me show you the other bit. Now we can read it in English. Now we've done that because we have to set this and remember the kids, they don't do as you say. They do as you do. So when you start you're building a system by doing what I'm saying. You start building a new system in place that will now go on for perpetuity until such a time that if Nigeria is not functioning, everybody knows their rights and we can stand on our own. Either way, we are preparing a generation of independent thinkers. Right now, the people, 200 million people, their minds are mentally enslaved. That is a fact. Take it or leave it. That is the reality. My brother, let me just see if I can. I think I can see a lot of comments being written by my brother there, and I appreciate it. On what is Tinubu on Citizen Air, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm really grateful for your comments, and I'm sorry if I'm not responding as I speak, but you're doing a wonderful job. And I encourage those of you who are watching, please share this broadcast. Share it to your community. This is something about changing our mindset. If you're serious about if you do not want to complain about no light next year, if you do not want to complain about bad roads next year, if you do not want to complain about, no schools for your children next year, it starts with letting the people in your community actively participate in the governance, knowing the powers they possess in their language. This is a radical different approach to what is currently on ground. Please share this broadcast. We're not here you can see there's not one word of abuse to anybody. There's no need. You're wasting your breath. This one. You're wasting your breath. You need to conserve that breath because we will need it to reach each and every member of the local community that you are in. Yes, save that breath. Wake them up. Let them know the powers they possess and how to use that power collectively to begin to hold your governor to account. It is our daily participation in our governance on a daily basis that will change things. So, now you've read it in Yoruba, or in Igbo, or in Hausa, or in Efik, or in Ishan, or whatever language. You read that first. Your language must be first in your community. You are sending a message to the youth that you are proud of who they are. You are proud that they're from your area. Putting English before your language, you are saying that they are no more than slaves. That's what we're doing. Take it or leave it. That is what we are doing. And there's nothing wrong for as long as we're in Nigeria. Yes, we're in Nigeria, but we must remember our mother tongue. Again, I greet our mamas in the market women, the moms who are home. Without them, there will be no nation. And we need them in this struggle. And once women understand something, that man don't enter them. He don't enter them. Once they understand, and they will know that it's a benefit for the community. It's about a mindset change. What we are talking about here is an entire mindset change. Entire mindset change. And I'm putting it to you. Without taking this step, you can forget about getting Yoruba Nation. You can forget it. And other nations. Because it is going to be an impossible task. Because we need the people to exercise these powers. And in exercising the powers, they are demonstrating. And they start taking control of their governance. And if the governance doesn't do what is required, the people will now instruct those they elect. Right, since you are not doing that, we're going for a referendum. We are sending you to the National Assembly, to the State Assembly, to pass laws to include and insert in the Constitution a referendum. That is the power that you possess, but you don't know how to do it. So there are steps that we have to take to get there. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's why this Constitution, we have a doorway now to a better future. But it requires our participation in it. All of us. From one community to the next. Okay. Right. Waris, thank you so much, my brother. Don't forget, as you're watching, please, if you're appreciating the broadcast, I'm grateful that you're appreciating it. Share it to family and friends. Subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Go right now to Citizen AY on YouTube and subscribe. Help us grow the platform, because you can see that the task before us is a huge task. But I have no doubt, in fact, I am 100% certain that if we stick together, if we work together collectively, it is going to be a cakewalk for all of us. Of that, I am certain. So, I urge you, as you're watching this, go ahead, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up, help us reach more people. We truly need your support, and it would really make a big difference if you can. And if you can, help us, share the broadcast. Because we're not here talking about this one said, that one said, and this one. That is not going to solve the problem we face. By actually engaging in that, you are creating a room for the churches and the mosques to occupy the minds of the people, when what we need is for the people to occupy their minds with the laws and the powers they possess, and how to use those powers to hold the government to account, to get the infrastructure that we all collectively need in our communities. That's what we need to do. Take it or leave it. It's not about me, talking and waffling and all of that. So, like I said, so we're gonna read this now. So once you read to them in Yoruba, and it must be in your most, put yourselves first, put your community first, read your language first. Yes, put yourselves first, put your community first. Every time you're forcing those who will be there to go and make sure that they have a good command of the language. Because if they try and make excuses in English, no, Oga, Gbebo, Ibitewai, Ile Yoruba ni, Nteba Feso, Eson Yoruba, Eloko. You are taking control. That means you're taking control. And that's what I really want to emphasize in the discussion that we're having today. So let me read that to you now. Now we've done it in Yoruba, let's do it in English. So in English it says, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. So that's a backup. Again, you are reminded, and then study them again, so that I guarantee you, watch this. When you read it in both in Yoruba and in English, they are going to sit uncomfortably. They'll be like this, because they know that you've got them, and you will tell them, please, we remind you who you are supposed to be working for, serving. We the people, we're the sovereigns collectively. And we are not, the lack of infrastructure is evident that you're not providing to us. And you have the right to say so, because now you are now exercising the powers as a sovereign to hold them to account. And then you read the second part of it. The participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. So that is what we need to begin to do literally from one community to the next. And we are going to need a number of champions. We're going to need community champions that will be part of the process, that we can train about how you can begin to talk about the constitution, and people who have good command of their local languages. And that is very important. We will need people in each community who have very good command of the language, because that is what we want the coming generation to learn from. If they want to solve a problem, they think, okay, how do I solve it? And they listen to how to speak the language. They speak to the people who speak it best, who know the interpretation, who can actually use it to do things like sciences, English, sciences, chemistry, languages, all of it. Because that way it gives them confidence about their culture, and they are proud of their culture. It's not just about language alone. What I'm telling you is deeper than that. It's deeper than that. And it's time we realize it. So, now once you do that, you can now, again, we tie that back to the refineries. Now, we can now, at that meeting, and I would suggest that we organize meetings whereby we call, like I said, local government chairman, state House of Assembly members, House of Reps, senators, even governors, to be sitting down. And at that meeting, we now say the issue of the refineries, sir, Mars. Now that you know that we are sovereigns and you derive your powers from us, we are not happy with the fact that we do not have functioning refineries in a nation with 200 million people. It will not suffice. Palliatives as a short-term measure, spending 3.1 million naira for 3 months. 3.1 trillion naira for 3 months. And then that money will run and go and borrow more. It doesn't make economic sense. We are telling you, we are instructing you to go back to the government to tell them that they have to give us a timetable of how they are going to be fixing those refineries with regular updates on each of those refineries. Don't forget, you have the power to do this. You have the power to do this. If you can spend 10 hours in a church or in a mosque, you can spend 2 hours, 3 hours on this kind of discussion to make your lives better collectively. I talk up. I bet no bet. So that's what I'm trying to get at. I hope what I'm saying here is making sense. I hope it's providing some kind of idea. But as always, I always maintain that it has to be in our local languages, because we will need our women, our mothers, market women, our farmers, vulcanizers, to be able to participate in that process, knowing it in their language. There won't be any restrictions on how they will participate, because it's a language that they understand. And you use those powers to hold those guys to account. It's not about fighting. It's about telling them, no. This is what the Constitution says. That Constitution is what you are sworn in on this Constitution. Yes, all of you are sworn in on this Constitution. And if you're sworn in, these laws apply to every one of you, and you must comply. Again, you tie their hands. They cannot, but it requires collective effort. No one person can do this alone. This thing alone. No. Please, don't expect one person to do it on their own. No one person. So, I hope you can see the way where this is going. So the question remains, and I was asking, let me just see if I can get that picture up. I was asking about how I'm going to read it as I put it out there. Let me see if I can find it. Will it come up? No, it's not going to do it. Maybe it's going to come. I hope you can. Yeah, okay, it's coming. Okay, I want to ask that question and pose that question about how the palliatives are doing. I mean, like I said, anything that the government does to try and alleviate the pains of the people is obviously welcome. We're not going to say, I'm not going to be, cold-hearted and go, this and that. But I'm saying the question should be, does it go far enough? So we remove this idea of emotions about it, but we focus on what is the likely impact of the government on the people in going for palliatives rather than infrastructure repairs, i.e. refineries, immediately, with structured, a clear written plan, with clear updates for the people to be able to follow those plans. That is what I would have liked to see. That's what I'd like to see. So 1 second, please. Let me just I thought I had it. Where is it? I just lost the question. I saw it just now. 1 second. I did it just now. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so the question is, are the palliatives announced by Tinubu's government having the desired effect on you and your family? Again, you're welcome to call in. You can call in on +44 739 580 606. Let us know, because we want to gauge what is going on. There's no point if we are hearing from the government that this is working. How do we know it's working? Again, this is part of the process. You need to start talking about this from one community to the next, so that we can gauge it, and we can provide that evidence to the government that this is what the people are saying about your plans. We need to address that. So we can, part of this process is actually participating in things like this and calling in. So you're calling in into discussion programs like this, where we are raising important questions and showing you how you can use the powers of sovereignty. It's of immense importance. Very, very much so. So you can see that question posed. Are the palliatives working? So those of you, if you think it is, you can say so. And if you can back it up with empirical evidence, go ahead and do so. But what I'm here to put to you is, you see, this what do you call it? This the rate of our naira is a problem for us. For as long as the government don't fix the refinery, the money that could have been used to build schools in your community, roads, water, light, they are going to spend a huge chunk of that importing the oil, processed oil, from countries that have deliberately brought down the rate of our own currency. So we are having to pay more. It's our crude oil. Korea said it. North Korea said they buy our oil. North Korea is on the other side of the world. They come and buy our crude oil, right? Oh, we better wake up. They come to buy our crude oil on the cheap, and they buy it in dollars. Dollars favors them. It favors them. Let me show you what I mean. You may I'm trying to really break this down in detail so that there is no misconception whatsoever about what is going on. The question now is, are we ready to take collective action? And it starts with exercising our powers in the Constitution and encouraging our people, teaching it, ensure our people have it in our local languages. And at this point, we are calling on the government to translate the Constitution into our local languages. No excuses. We are calling on them. We are demanding for it. But in the absence of that, Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to our Truth to Power and Oduduwa TV Radio, we are trying to get something in place. I've got some documents. I think I showed some time ago. And we're trying to translate. It's taking some time because obviously we're trying to do that and do broadcast and bring things up to date, things up as we're talking about it. So let's say that they're buying they're buying if they're gonna buy one second, let me just check that. If they're gonna buy, let's say they're gonna buy, I don't know, they're selling 100 they're selling a barrel of oil for $100, so the $100, oh, it's great money, but what is the rate of the naira in that $100 is what you want to look at. Now they're saying it's 1,000 naira. Yeah. So it becomes something like 72,000 naira for, to be able to match that $100. Can you see 72,000 naira, $100? It means that our naira is rubbish. It's rubble. It's next to not worthless. I don't even need, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. I don't even need to go break it down into detail into further detail than that. So the point I'm making here is this. We have the power, even now, all 774 local government areas, you have the power to hold your governors to account. You have that power. But we need to begin to exercise it collectively. We need to make sure that our people begin to work together. I know it's not going to be easy, what I'm saying. No, please, don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that it's easy. You just wake up one day. It requires planning. And it requires us sharing that Constitution in our local languages. And that is why I talk about it. In fact, I am so emphatic about this. In all of my programs in the past few months, I always talk about Section 14.2a and 14.2c because it is the most powerful piece of evidence of our sovereignty that is glaringly obvious. And what is more is that by me translating it into our local languages, I've done it into Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and Pidgin English. I've done it. And you can go and check on Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to the power, both on Facebook and on YouTube. I've done it in those languages. What we need is our people to take the time to read that and join us in this struggle. Because this is the real problem. If we continue to import oil, so like I was saying, when North Korea buys our oil on the cheap, when they process it, they will sell it to us at an expensive price. doesn't it make sense that we fix our own refinery so that we can, by fixing our refineries, our people can buy the PMS, premium median spirit, or whatever it's called it. We can buy it at a lower price, and it helps our economy rather than making the lives of our people a misery. The government is supposed to make the lives of the people, worth living. To make there's a young boy yesterday. There's a video, I can't show it. A young boy threw himself off a bridge trying to hang himself. They had to hurriedly take the rope off his neck. He was shaking. I hope he's okay. That's the problem. People that cannot eat. We need to build our own infrastructures, roads, water. We need to be able to, and we have the manpower to do so. So this refinery, the refineries is the engine room for driving our prosperity. The refineries are the engine room for driving the turnaround into a nation that will prosper. We cannot keep importing processed oil because the people who are going to process it, they will charge for the cost of buying the oil from us and sending it to us on top of processing of the oil. It doesn't make economic sense, my people. It doesn't. So there is a lot of work for the government to do, and I'm not going to get involved in this in the certificate issue. That whatever anybody says is whatever anybody says. I'm not, and that's fine. But what is happening is that in the face of all of that, while all that discussion is happening, that young man threw himself off a bridge with a rope around his neck, and they had to hurriedly try and keep him up. And I think he was shaking like he was going to die. And they were trying to take it off, and he was trying to keep it on so he could die and go. That economy has failed. That's what I'm saying. That economy has failed. So those of you watching this broadcast, since nobody's called in today, that's fine. I will come back again later on. I will talk some more. But I hope that we are learning and looking at things from the point of view of what is being said here. We need that constitution in our local languages. We've been doing some work on it on this platform. Thank you very much, my brother. Oh, those of you on Citizen Ewa, yes. Abayomi, yes. Yeah. Okay, Esheun. Abayomi Jane, thank you so much. Yeah. Beni, okay, Esheun, Ekwetu, Mudukwela Wonye Esheun. Akalamugu Esheun. Yes, so God bless this situation. Ajibode Anu Oluwapo. Well, okay. Abimbola David, those are people who are on Zuduwati Radio on Facebook. And I greet each and every one of you for joining us on the broadcast. Please do share it. The information that we're sharing here is not about tito-tato. It's about what is going to make a real improvement in our lives. And we are doing this with commitment, earnestness, for the betterment of our collective people, Yorubas, Igbos, Hausas, Ibibios, Efik, everybody in between. Everybody in between. So please, if this resonates with you, do share this broadcast. Help it. Let it go far. Let it go viral. I'm afraid if we do not begin to learn our constitution and translate it, and before anybody says, other countries don't do it. In the UK that the colonials that colonized Nigeria, there's the English, there's the Welsh, there's the Scottish. This is what you're seeing is the document for local elections, all written in Welsh. That's why I'm showing you this, to tell you that it is doable. It is not if, it is not maybe, it is doable, and we must demand for it. I will come and talk about this in Yoruba properly. I will. But I wanted to do is BAT 120 days plus has inflated the value of Nigeria purchase power by 40% against the US dollar, ? Exactly. Very good point. I'm going to pin that up, actually. Let me pin that statement there by my brother who's on the admin. I greet you very much, the admin on Citizen AY on YouTube. Please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. We really need your support. The kind of information that we're giving you, you can see, is of immense importance. It is crucial to our development, and it is to make a change. I'm telling you now, take it or leave it. The church and the mosque, they are major part of our problems. The church will make sure that you have the Quran and the Bible. The church will make sure you have the Bible in Yoruba. The Quran, the Muslims or Islam will make sure the Moshalashi will make sure you have the Quran in Yoruba. But those places, whilst they are talking to you, they don't ensure that you have the constitution of the country in Yoruba or in Igbo, so that you know the powers you possess and how to use it. Now you tell me, are they looking out for your interest? Simple question. Are they looking out for your interest? I'm just asking a simple question. Are these churches and mosques, are they looking out for your interest? Because if they were looking out for your interest, as well as giving you the Bible and the Quran, they will say, oh, by the way, this is a very important document too. I know you're a church person, you're a mosque person, but you need to have the constitution in your language. Since you have the Bible in your language, you have the Quran, I am making sure that you have the constitution in your language, so you know what is in it, and you can participate in your government. But they don't even want you to think about that. They don't even want you to know about the constitution. They only want you to know about the Bible or the Quran. So whose interest are they serving? Are they serving your interest or their interest? You tell me. I'm just asking a simple, you tell me. How do you see this? So there is a lot of work to be done under this current government. But I'm here to tell you, I'm here to tell you that it is no longer about talking about the government. We have to make sure that we, the people, participate in this process and we teach ourselves. If the government fails to provide that document in our languages, we can do it ourselves. And in fact, I suggest that we must begin to do that. We need to come together in every community and begin to share this message about the Constitution and translate it and work together. However way we can do it, translate that Constitution word for word. Like you see the Welsh on the screen, for the Welsh people, we want the Constitution for Yoruba people in Yoruba, for Igbo people in Igbo, for the Isha people in Isha, for the Middle Belt people in Middle Belt, for the Hausas in Hausa. Because if you don't, how can you participate in your governance if you don't understand the document that you're reading about your laws? How? This is a fundamental flaw in our system of governance. And it has been in place for over 24 years. It has been in place. Yes, churches should be doing food free. Thank you. They should be doing it free. They should be doing it free. And once they are doing the food free, they should be passing the constitution to our people in our language so that they can begin to stand up for themselves. The churches are ensuring that the people are impoverished and they have no way out but to talk to the church. But the church have no answer. Likewise, the mosque, they have no answer. Only for you to just keep coming, keep praying, keep praying, keep praying. 63 years of praying. Please, where has it taken us? Simple question. In 63 years of praying, where has it taken us? Yet we have the glaring information. In 24 years, we have the glaring information of the Constitution. We are even translating sections of it in our Yoruba language, in Igbo, in Hausa, and so on and so forth. So that we know. Isn't it time that we all collectively join in this struggle in that sense? I think we must. I think we need a radical rethink. I'm showing you this in Yoruba because I want those who may be watching this, you can take a screenshot. We want you guys to know your powers. You see, when you know your powers, you will no longer depend on handout. You will not allow for it. When you know you have these powers, you will no longer accept handout from those politicians. They are afraid of that because you will demand for what is yours, i.e., roads, water, hospital, light, schools. You will demand it and you will ensure they fulfill it. There is something called the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee, monthly account. That money, in Ogun State, for example, the governor of Ogun State has been accused of keeping that money since 2020, I believe, or something, by a guy, Adedayo or something, I think it is. And you know they've actually taken that guy off his local government as a local government chairman because he spoke out and he exposed this. You have the power, using the powers you're seeing on the screen in Yoruba, in Ogun State, to call Governor Dapo Abiodun to a town hall meeting, and he cannot refuse. Collectively, stating and asking him where those funds are. That is how powerful the document I'm showing you is. But if you're not joining hands collectively in one community to the next, it's not going to work. We need to be participating in our governance. The churches and the mosques are mere distractions. I'm sorry to say it. They are mere distractions. Like I said, with these powers, you will not accept handouts from the same politicians because they know, as soon as you know these powers in your language, they would dare not come in front of you and give you 5,000 naira or a piece of cloth, a bag of a pot of rice, or a cloth with a name. They would dare not. They are depending on your ignorance to exploit you. We are trying to change that mindset, my people. That's why in the song, please do me a favor. The song in the background is a song I wrote. It's called How Long Una Go Dey Suffer. It speaks to the suffering that we're suffering collectively. Go to iTunes, type in How Long Una Go Dey Suffer. You will see it come up. Citizen AY. Let me see if I can show you on the screen. Let me see if I can. If you can help, download that song. Help me, that you can help in the kind of work that we're doing here. It would really help if you can download that song and share it, because it's a message in that song that relates to what we are going through collectively. So let me see. So iTunes. Let me just I want to put that up here. iTunes. So let me just put in How Long Una Go Dey Suffer here. Let me see. Music. Let me see if it come up. I'm just trying to show you. It's on iTunes and Spotify. So I want to just show you. So hopefully it will come up. Here we go. Okay. So that's the song. That's the song that I'm showing. I'm trying to show you. You can help us. You can really be of help to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. This is a song I wrote. And it's on iTunes. You can go and download it. You see it there. It's on iTunes. Just click on it. Listen. Download it. You see? That's it there. So you can go and download it. It is there. You see, preview. So press preview, download it. 5 minutes long. It won't do any harm. Share it to family and friends. Let me play it again. See if we can play it for you. See that? See it. So it's on iTunes right now and on Spotify. You can download it. See that? Go and you can help us. You can help by get a copy of this. If those of you who are abroad, get a copy of this. Now slave camp we dey oh. My people we don't tire for the country where then they call Nigeria. Now slave camp oh. Where we suppose stand up for our rights oh. Stand up for our rights oh. The time don't knock where we suppose stand up oh, for our rights oh. For self-determination. How long? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long una go dey suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go dey suffer? How long go? How long? How long gonna go dey suffer?
Abdul Salam na fake man.
See?
Now he put that constitution
Yeah.
for your head, yo.
Just showing you.
That's all.
Abdul Salam na fake man. So anyway, I'm just showing you so you can download it. So you can download that song and have a listen. It's also on Spotify. What you can do is to help, the work that we're doing. You can help us by just listening to that song. Download it. Share it to family and friends. The words are very, very important to what we're saying here. So that's what you hear in the background. How long? How long gonna get this offer? It's on iTunes. It's on Spotify. Let me see if I can show you that tune also on Spotify. Because what we're trying to do here, the message has to reach home. And above all, I want you to know that you possess the power to make this change in our community. You possess that power. Let me show you the other one on Spotify. Let me see if I can find Spotify. So how long gonna go to suffer? You will see it on there. You can download it all there on there as well. So it's a song I wrote specifically for what's been going on, So let me just play that again. So you will see it come up now. So let me see. Yeah. Okay, accept cookies. So again, that song is on Spotify. You see? Let me just see if I can get that up there. I want to make sure that you can see it. So you can see the song itself. It's on Spotify. As you see, type it in. As you see it, type it. It's there again. So it may not do it, but I'm going to... okay, you have to sign up first. But anyway, you can go there and listen to it and share it. So that's the song there. I mean, I'll see if I can play. In fact, whilst I'm here, let me see if I can play the entire song for you on the broadcast as we're watching now. Because I need you to really understand that really it is time for you and I. The only people that can make this change is you and I. Nobody else. Only you and I. And whatever they do, the government will do what they're going to do. That's the reality for me. I'm not even kidding you. I kid you not. They will not. They are only going to do what they are only going to do. What you need to do is to really begin to understand that we must hold them to account collectively. And I emphasize the word collectively, using the powers we possess within the Constitution and exercising that power consistently. So let me see if I can get that song out, and I'll play the entire song to you again here as you're watching. Sorry about this. 1 second. So I'm just going to bring it up because I'd like you to hear it all. Sometimes, I mean, it's been around, and that's the signature song for Citizen NY on the platform. That's why you hear in the background, because we need that song to be something that can make us all wake up. The idea is to try and wake us up, to be honest with you. So here we go. So let's see if it comes up. Then you can. So here we go. Let's have a listen. So you can go to iTunes and Spotify and download it and help us. Okay.
My people,
There's a slight delay, but let's say you can hear the song.
how long gonna go this suffer? How long?
How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer?
My people, we don't tire inside Nigeria. Now slave camp we dey oh. Now so my people, we don't tire for the country where they call Nigeria. Now slave camp oh. The time done now where we suppose stand up for our rights oh. Stand up for our rights oh. rights, oh, for self-determination.
Listen up.
How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long?
Coached by a very good friend of mine. Monkey Studios, very good guy. Kudos to him.
How long gonna go this suffer? Abdul Salam na fake man. Now he put that yeah constitution for your head, yo. Abdul Salam na fake man. Now military man can't tell una say una get constitution. No be lie. Na lie, oh, na fake, na fraud, oh.
I mean, not be fraud.
That yeah constitution.
Yes, so.
Now him then they claim close to na high, yo. Make una wake up, make una wake up.
Thanks, where is your my brother?
Sharp, sharp. How long? I don't they wonder. I don't they wonder. I don't they wonder. Make una know self-determination, oh, na your right, oh. My people, I want make una know self-determination, na your right, oh. You must fight for your right. You must stand for your right. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people for your village, for your town, for your city, and inside country where you dey, oh. Atiku, Emiloko, Peter Obi no be the solution.
That's a real fact.
The solution, now be the solution.
I mean no offense to anybody there now, but that's a fact.
Make una wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Make una wake up.
I say, man, wake up.
Wake up. Time down knock.
I beg.
Bagang, bagang. Be Yoruba man.
Yes, so.
You may be Afran. I want make una know say self-determination, now your right, you. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? Yoruba land na your land, yo. Middle belt na your land, yo. Hausa land na your land, yo. Biafra land na your land, yo. No be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria. La 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 la. Oh.
So, yeah. So that's my thoughts on things. I'm being realistic. Of course, like anybody else, I would like a functioning Nigeria. I would. But unless and until we participate in that process, it's not going to happen. Again, I say it. Unless and until we actively begin to participate in that process, using the powers within that constitution. They don't want you to know you're a sovereign. I'm here to make you know that you're a sovereign, and you can use those powers to hold them to account. And it will benefit your own local community. It starts from your community. So this palliative is not cutting it, in my opinion. Yes, it's good. They've done a little bit, but it's far from what is needed. The refineries, we should be calling for a regular update on the progress on that refinery, because that is where the price of the oil will be permanently reduced. As it stands now, they are going to continue to import oil and borrow more money, making your lives a misery. We need to put a stop to it. You should be asking about the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee, the monthly account. Many governors, not only Governor Dakpabilo alone, others are probably sitting on the same thing again as well, making the lives of the citizens a misery. So, Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've done a bit of time here. Let me see how long we've been doing on this podcast. I want to just check it before I make a move. We'll have to do some more discussions on this. I don't know how you see it, but my take on things is that it is definitely worth us looking at things. So, like I said, the best way you can help Citizen NY is to, first of all, go ahead and subscribe to Citizen NY on YouTube. So please, like I said, subscribe to Citizen NY on YouTube, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, share this broadcast, leave a comment. You really will be helping us, particularly with the message that we're sharing. It's to really enlighten our people about the powers that we possess in that constitution. It is fraudulent. Please don't misunderstand me. We still need it to be reviewed, and we need to insert in it a referendum. I'm very, very clear about that. But the powers that we have in it now, we can use. At least let us use the powers and let us see what happens. And if it doesn't work, then we are justified in totally going for Yoruba Nation, Biafra, Middle Belt, and so on. We go and put in that referendum in it. So, those of you on YouTube, again, subscribe to Citizen NY, the platform where we speak with the power. Help us grow the platform. And like I said, anything you can do, if you can, the best thing you can do for us, you don't have to pay us a penny. Just subscribe. Share it to family and friends. Let them have this information. Yes, we can be angry about what the government is doing. But if we do not even know the powers that we possess, we are not going to be able to deal with what the government, or put a stop to it. That's what I'm saying. We need to know these powers now. We're sharing those powers with you and how you can actually make a difference. We're sharing it. Look at the rate of the Naira. Look at the rate of the Naira. Let that sink in. You require, to even get to 1p, you require another 87.0087 before you can even get to 1p of the dollar. That is how bad your Naira is. I can't overemphasize how important, looted C19 palliatives was like yesterday. Exactly. Looted, it was like yesterday. So, I mean, look, I don't want to, I don't know how else to put it. I'll organize another time and we can have more discussions, and I welcome discussions from you guys. Leave a comment. Those of you who watch it after, please make sure you subscribe to Citizen NY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us, grow the platform. Help us grow it. Help us share this message. The kind of information that we're sharing here, that is information that is designed to enlighten our people. It's not designed to abuse anybody. It's not designed to cause anger. It's designed to wake us up. We are asleep. We are totally asleep, and it is time we woke up. I will keep saying it. We can and must demand that constitution is translated into our local languages. Many of the documents that they use in Wales is in Welsh, but they are part of UK. So we can be part of Nigeria and have our documents and everything translated into Yoruba, still part of Nigeria, so that we know the laws that we're being governed by. That is what we are saying. The C19 was kept for political campaign. Exactly. So now, but because people didn't know the powers they possess, and we're trying to change that thinking. We're trying to make sure that you, as a citizen, you now know the powers you possess as citizen. Again, if you do want to call in, if you have one or two suggestions about the palliative, is it working? If you disagree with it, we would even like to hear from you. Because it's not about telling anybody off. It's not about shouting. It's not about telling you you're wrong. It's not about that. It's about really getting us all to see that the political classes have really enslaved our minds. And thankfully, we are beginning to wake us up slowly but surely. But we need a really concerted effort in this manner. What you're seeing in the middle of that screen is Welsh words. used for writing the registration document for elections in Wales. Our election document, for example, in any future elections, it should be in Yoruba. Certainly, they should have some sections should be in Yoruba and in English, so that it will help those who are going to vote in elections to know what they're voting for in their language. And equally, the same thing for the Constitution. It should be, like you see on the screen here, it should be in Yoruba. And in fact, it should be the thing that everybody sees. The Yoruba should be, before they read anything in English, in Yoruba land, they should read it in Yoruba. In Igbo land, they should read it in Igbo. In Hausa, they should read it in Hausa first. Because it shows that in that land, Yorubas reign supreme. In Igbo land, Igbos reign supreme. In Hausa land, Hausa reign supreme. Putting the English language before our own language in our own land is a sign of enslavement of our entire community. And that is not acceptable. It can never be acceptable. Never. So the change starts with us now. Let us join hands. I'm going to come back and keep talking about and keep encouraging and keep trying to translate as much as I can. I'll be bringing you further updates on how the translation is going. But what would be best is for the federal government to translate this constitution into our local languages. I've just shown you an example of what the Welsh are doing. The Welsh, just simple registration for elections is in Welsh. Is in Welsh. So that tells you it is something that can be done. It can be done, and it's not going to cost a fortune. It's on the screen here. People can print it out themselves, but you provide it, put it on the website so people can read their constitution in their language and be able to be part of the process. That's why with song is how long are we going to suffer? There is a lot of work for us all to do. I urge us all, please share the broadcast. I will look forward to hear from you all soon about your comments. Please, and whatever platform you're watching this on, say hi. Leave a comment. Let us hear. How really have you found this broadcast? Have you found it of any use? Do you agree with some things? Do you disagree? What do you disagree with? What suggestions do you have? I really want this to be something interactive for all of us, because the change that we seek cannot be done doing the same things over and over. That's a definition of madness. That's what's been happening for over 63 years. We have to put a stop to it. It starts with changing the way that things are done. And we, the people, must drive that change collectively. I am absolutely certain about that. It is we, the people, not the politicians. We, the people, must drive the change. Because the politicians will do what the politicians will do to benefit themselves at the expense of the people. But when we start participating and telling them this is what must happen as we are the sovereigns, they can't refuse. Trust that you possess that power. I want us all to have belief in our communities. It's been shattered by these churches. And the churches and the mosques have made sure that the people have lost self-belief by believing in something that is something that they cannot see, something that is being used to fool them. It's time to restore our own self-belief within our community, that we can stand together and ensure that the infrastructures, the roads, the water, the light, the schools, the bridges, the hospitals that we need is going to be provided, because as sovereigns, we will command and ensure we monitor the actions of our government till they provide those things as mandated in the Constitution. Section 17.3. Let me quickly show you something, because some people forget. Section 17.3, and I'll do it in Yoruba as well. So let's go to citizenay.org. I'm going to change a few things. So sometimes you miss a few things, but I'm going to just quickly show you the Constitution of Nigeria. So I think I did put it. Hang on, what's that? Yoruba Nation. Okay. Okay. Now, let me show you section 17. I want you to just see section 17 in terms of healthcare, but they never talk about that. They never talk about it. And you need to know this. But I will do it in English. No, I will do it in Yoruba. You know what I'm going to do? Give me a second. I'm moving away from the screen because I really want to start like I go on, as I meant to go on. I want to make sure I do it in the way I said, because this is going to be very important. And I want people to even know this. People may not know this, and it needs to be in Yoruba. I want it to be in Yoruba because we need to know this. Section 17.3. But because we are in Yoruba land, we must speak Yoruba first. We must. In fact, I insist on it. So, 1 second, please. If anybody wants to call in, you can call in, because I'm trying to just do this for to make sure that we get the information there. So J, is that 17? 3J. Yeah. No. Okay. Now we're gonna do this in two ways. I'm gonna do it in Yoruba first, and you will see it come up because I want you to really understand what I mean. And that power, if you don't know that you have the power, you can't exercise it. And if you don't know that you can make demands on those in government, you will not do it. So to that end, I'm trying to really prompt us. We need to prompt ourselves to do these steps. So beg your pardon, please. 1 second. I'm going to quickly change that. Just give me this. You'll see a funny thing on the screen, but just never mind me. I'm trying to get it working. Oh, come on. Sorry about that. Sorry. You can see I do a lot of research in the background, and that's why. So I do a lot of research all the time. I spend a lot of time doing research that will benefit our collective community, believe it or not. It's not about personal gain. It's about our collective benefit. And we really have to make sure we put that time in, because what is going on is so unacceptable. And it's so palpably unjust. It's so palpably unjust that we cannot ignore, we can no longer be silent in the face of that injustice. So let me just check one more thing quickly. So as we are doing this, please keep in mind the object of the broadcast of the discussion there is to make sure that we know that we can hold our governors to account, and we're showing you ways in which you can do it consistently, and not and work together. Our collective effort is what is needed now. And I'm conscious. I know people will think, oh, it's not doable. But please do not underestimate the power of our collective. Do not underestimate the power of our collective once we understand what is being done. And that is what I really want to reiterate above all else. I want to really make sure that we understand that collectively we are formidable as people. But the government obviously do not want you to know that. They don't want you to be able to challenge them. They need you to be in a situation whereby you think that they are the be all and end all. I'm sorry, that is the what they want you to do, and we need to change that mindset. And that's why we're doing what we're doing on programs like this, trying to encourage you to know that no, this is not acceptable, and you have the power to say no, sir, we disagree. The powers in the Constitution that you are sworn in on confers the powers of sovereignty on us, and you need to respect that power because you are sworn on oath to that Constitution that ensures that we, the sovereigns, have, we can hold you to account and use those powers, particularly in our local languages. So let me just do this. So Google, I'm going to just check. I'm trying to do something for you quickly here in Yoruba first, because I want us to have that. So maybe that's another takeaway that people can probably, go here. Okay, sorry. So I want to just, okay, so let me do this quickly. Okay, no. Okay. Okay, just give me a minute. I just want to. Now I'm gonna show you quickly, because I just want to give you an idea of what this is about. Then I'll do it in English, because sometimes I think not sometimes this is best. We need to do that, and let it be. I'm looking at how we're. That must be a template for how we do things. Is what I'm saying. It has to be a template for how we do things going forward. 1 minute, please. Okay, so let me just do that so you can see it come up in a minute. It will be here in a minute now. Just want to just check to make sure that it fits the narrative of what I wanted it to do. Then that way we can make that change. Sorry, it's proving a bit difficult, but don't worry, we will get there in the end. We will get there in the end. Okay, let's have a look. So just give me a minute, please. I'm just trying to, because I want you to understand it. Okay, because I need us to understand that that is the power that we possess. We really do possess that power. So, okay, so now I'm going to read it. Okay. Okay, yeah, I got it now. Okay, so I'm just going to read something to you now. You will see it come up now. So this is what is in the Constitution in English, but I'm reading to you in Yoruba because I wanted you to see that. So here is what it says in the Constitution. So a lot of us are suffering from lack of health care. So in the Constitution, 17 subsection 3, let me just make sure. Section 17, subsection 3 of the Constitution states. So it states, I'm going to read it in Yoruba, then I'll translate it to English. Orílẹ̀-èdè náà yóò darí ètò ìmúlò rẹ̀ sí ìdánilójú pé àwọn ilé ìwòsàn tí ó péye àti àwọn ohun èlò ìlera wà fún gbogbo ènìyàn. So in essence, what is that saying? We can translate that. We said it in Yoruba. So the object of what I'm doing there is to always put Yoruba people first on Yoruba land. That is what we must. It has to be deliberate in that manner. It has to be. That is what it states. Now, somebody falling ill, who's ill, they may not even know this in Yoruba land, that it is the duty of the government to provide health care, and they shall do so, as it states here. Now we're going to read the English version of what I just said in Yoruba, because that way it helps aid the people to be able to hold their governors to account. So the same thing now, you can see it now on the screen. It says, the state shall direct its policy towards ensuring that there are adequate medical and health facilities for all persons. So, because people read that in English, they won't conceptualize it. But if they hear it in Yoruba, like I read moments ago, which I'm going to read again, orílẹ̀-èdè náà yóò darí ètò ìmúlò rẹ̀ sí ìdánilójú pé àwọn ilé ìwòsàn tí ó péye àti àwọn ohun èlò ìlera wà fún gbogbo ènìyàn. So now, people in each community can say, no, you cannot tell us it's not there, because this is what it says in the Constitution. Again, this is aiding, allowing for the people to actively participate in their governance. I mean, I could go on. I'm giving a lot of instances here. And I hope you all see the relevance of the point that is being made here. And I hope you can find it. I hope you find it useful. We are really trying to change our mindset. And I know it's not an easy task, but that's what we're trying to do. I don't believe that, sort of calling anybody names or anything would solve it. Yes, it makes you feel good in a way. That's only my own personal view. It doesn't mean that way is wrong. It just means that how I perceive it is that if I want to reach people, I want to reach them in a way that is meaningful, that will make them make that change themselves. And my focus now is to ensure that whatever we are doing as a community is focused on and the actions that we must take. Because we can no longer wait on the actions of the politicians. The politicians will never do anything to benefit the citizens. It is the citizens that must do things collectively together that will benefit themselves, holding their governors to account, i.e. holding the politicians to account on a regular basis, using the powers in the Constitution. Now, like I said, I'm going to read that again. For those of you who may be following. Orílẹ̀-èdè náà. Mẹ́tàdínlógún ẹsẹ̀ kẹta, òfin kẹtàdínlógún ẹsẹ̀ kẹta, orílẹ̀-èdè náà yóò darí ètò ìmúlò rẹ̀ sí ìdánilójú pé àwọn ilé ìwòsàn tí ó péye àti àwọn ohun èlò ìlera wà fún gbogbo ènìyàn. Now, when people in the community knows that is their role, they can confidently go and demand for it from those they elect into office. These are the kind of information that will really transform the thinking of our people in their languages. That is what we're saying here. So I hope that makes sense. I hope everything we've said today thus far makes sense, and hopefully we can find some benefit of use in it, either collectively or individually. But most of all, please share this broadcast. I want you to share it. I want you to really make sure that people, your communities, see the benefits of having the Constitution in our local languages. Never mind the low numbers on Facebook. That's fine. They always do that. But I'm trying to address that issue. And in fact, I need to know why they're doing that. We have over 100,000 followers on Facebook. But Facebook, in their infinite wisdom, have decided to drop the numbers to 1 or 2, maybe 10. That's what we get on a regular basis. Sometimes they will open the doors and then it will suddenly open up. But other times it becomes a problem. But nonetheless, we are here. Others who are watching this, please, you can share it to 100 people each. Those of you watching, share it to 100 people each. That way they can get this very important information. And again, I've deliberately left that on the screen in Yoruba so that people can know that what they read in English is available in Yoruba, and it can inform their actions. Now, when you know that you have that the government should provide for you in your local language, and you can say to the person who is coming to your local community, you will not accept any excuses from them because it's in your language. So this is what is most important in all of this. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found this beneficial today. This is where we will bring the broadcast to an end. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate your views. We appreciate everything. Those of you who have watched us, if I have not called your name, it's not for want of trying, but because I probably haven't, I've not seen it, and I might have missed it. I've tried to call as many people that have seen and called your name and mentioned and recognize you. And I recognize each and every one of you for joining us and for staying this long with us on this broadcast. You are, of course, watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. The object of this discussion today has been to encourage us to know that we have the power to make the change within our community to ensure that the government of the day complies with and indeed follows the demands of us, the citizens, to whom sovereignty belongs, and shows us how we can use those powers consistently in our community, using translating it into our local languages particularly. And I'm putting it to you all that we must begin to ensure that any discussion that we have, any meetings, if you are in a Yoruba land, the meeting must start in Yoruba. If you are in Igbo land, the meeting must start with Yoruba language. If you are in Hausa land, the meeting must start with Hausa language. And then, of course, you read it in English. I'm not saying forget English, but by doing that, you are beginning to put your own community in your mind as first. When you put English first, you are forgetting yourselves. You are saying to yourselves, you don't matter. You don't matter. Whatever happens to you don't matter, because as long as it's read in English, that mindset must change. Everything must be in our local languages so that our people can understand what is being said and be part of the process. Anyway, we've been talking for a time. You are, of course, watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I want to thank you all for joining. If this resonates with you, and for those of you that will watch later on, please watch it over, share it, leave comments, subscribe. Go and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. That's the best way you can help us, above all else. If you subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube as you're watching, you will help us grow the platform. We will reach more people with this very, very essential information. I'm sorry to tell you, the harsh reality is that the politicians, from the president downward, they're not going to work for you because they tell you they're going to work for you. Subscribe to Citizen AY, hit the notification button, give us the thumbs up, help us grow the platform. They are not going to do anything for you because you say so. But when you hold them to account using the powers in the Constitution, they have no choice in the matter. They will have to do what it says in that Constitution, particularly when people express their demands in their local languages. There will be no mistaking what is required to be done. So, here is where we bring the broadcast to an end. Thank you all so very much. Please do share. I will come back and do this also on Oduduwa TV Radio in Yoruba. We, at this same time, call on the federal government to intervene in the case of Taniolong. He must be released. He has done nothing wrong. There are many clerics, Islamic clerics, who have really broken the law that should be arrested. And there is video evidence. There is video evidence. Video evidence that speaks to what I'm saying about the clerics in Ilorin disregarding the law of the land and abusing the people who hold African spiritual beliefs. They should be arrested. Instead, those people who aren't arrested are now putting a young man who is waking his people up, putting him in jail, and forcing his mom to come and beg for him to be freed. We once again call on the federal government to intervene. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to the power. Here we'll wrap it up. So free time along, and of course, let us make sure that we continue to share the broadcast. Thank you for watching. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. When you get the broadcast, please do share. Thank you for watching. Waris Jinodu, my brother, who's on Citizen AY YouTube. Thank you so much for your time and your great comments and for being an admin. I'll be back later on. Thank you all so much. Bye for now. Thank you. Please, one more thing. Go out, if you can, go and download How Long Am I Going to Suffer on Spotify and iTunes. Help us and will help us in doing the work we're doing. We really appreciate the support. Thank you and bye for now. Bye for now. Okay, so thank you, Alagba Waris Jonoju. Thank you so